So guys, now we're ready to do our hog injection. We're gonna keep it very simple. We're gonna do this hog laying on his belly. So we're gonna try to put as much flavor we can to it. And so for this injection today, we're gonna be using apple juice. And I'm gonna pour about probably 3/4 of this guy, maybe half of it. Let's see here. We'll go 3/4. Then we're gonna do a peach medley. Got a lot of good flavors in here. Gonna go about 1/4 of that. We're gonna do a cup of brown sugar. Cup of brown sugar. Just a regular table salt. We're gonna do a 1/2 cup. Right there. And I've got a little strainer here. We're gonna add a little bit of zesty Italian to our injection. And this is a very, very fine little strainer. So I don't want any of this crunchy stuff to get into my injection. I'm gonna put about 1 cup in there. I'm gonna let this rest. I will bring this injection to a boil, trying to merge those flavors together. Add a little ice to cool it down, and then we're gonna inject our hog. The next step is gonna be, we're gonna start our fire here. I've got 3 chimneys here. I've got some of this B&B starter. If you haven't used these guys right here are incredible. I'm going to pour some of this briquettes in this chimney, and we're gonna use them to start our fires. We're gonna have 4 fires on each corner. 1, 2, 3, 4 fires on this pit. So we're gonna try to cook this hog and keep the loins from having any heat in it. So let's see if I can get this right here. Maybe we can do it, huh? How about that, huh? All right, we're gonna put that in there. That's not inside of the pit. Now that your fire started, we're gonna get that hog. We're gonna lay it on the table. We're gonna do a little bit of trimming. We're gonna inject. I'm gonna show you a little bit of a trick how to get that injected. And we'll get to cooking. Now we've got our hog here. Chad and I are fixing to show you how to do a simple trimming on it. There's not a whole lot to do to this. It's not gonna be a competition hog. It's going to be an eating hog. So we're gonna try to, our injection is here. We have that warmed up and it cooled down so we can inject it. I'm gonna open this up, and Chad's gonna give me a hand. And I basically wanna show you guys what we need to get ready in here on the inside. Most hogs out there will come with these 2 guys right here, which are the kidneys. We're not gonna eat them. All right, we're gonna put them, we'll throw that to the side. On the inside of the cavity right here, we have a lot of little gristles and membrane. Just want to try to get rid of all of this right here. So basically what I like to say is if it doesn't look appetite to you, you may want to get rid of it. So we're going to do a little simple trimming here. I don't want to get rid of any of this. Right here is the bacon. On this area right here is probably the cleanest. It is the cleanest lard you can get from a pig, so you want to leave that in there. It'll help protect that bacon from overcooking, and that fat will just add a lot of flavor to the hog. I think this hog came dressed. Not a whole lot to do in here. We're gonna cook it on his belly, so I'm not gonna try to expose none of the hams, none of the shoulder. So this is as simple as it gets. Maybe a little bit of cleaning right here, and we're ready to go. Chad, you want to start injecting that for us on that? And then I will come around and I'm going to assist you here. All right, what Chad's doing there, he's going 1, 2, 3 pumps, and then you want to be even with your injection. You're going to make sure you got it everywhere. and you see that ham changing sizes as you pump that juice in. Cooking a hog on its belly, this is the only way you're gonna get flavor into this hog. So you want it to really inject it really good. We're gonna put all this juice in there, and it's gonna do really, really well. I'm gonna come around, Chad's got that done. I'm gonna come around here. As he finishes that, I'm gonna show y'all something about the loin. We're gonna take it and we're gonna go in between the rib bones right here and gently go about 1 inch so you don't perforate the skin, and then give it a couple little pumps. What that's gonna do is gonna get your loin that's inside of this rib cage here. Look at it, look at that juice coming right back. You wanna get that loin, you wanna put some of this flavor in there. Your injection will be the star that plays majority of this game right here. We're gonna get that in. Couple little pumps. Then we're gonna come on the bacon. On the bacon side, you want to pinch the skin, take your injector and go directly down in it. What that do, it'll prevent you from poking through the skin. We want to keep that skin intact. We're gonna make that skin really pretty. Our goal here today is to make this hog look really, really pretty. When you're cooking on your backyard, your neighbors are gonna come in, they're gonna see it, and they're gonna go, wow. So this injector, if y'all looking in there, you're probably wondering, man, where did you get that? So this injector you can get at Sweet Swine O' Mine. Mark Lambert sell them online. You just one click order, it'll ship to your house. My recommendation to you is always to have 2 of these. We do have 2 of them. It's always, because you never know what could happen. There's some little rubber gaskets in here that could go bad. If you haven't used them in a few weeks or so, you may want to check them, oil the inside. This all comes apart. Always, when you use an injector, make sure you clean it. Hot water, soap, treat it like any other dish that you're trying to sanitize, because it's very important. A lot of this, there's a little Velcro in here. You want to clean that and sanitize well before you use it for the next cook. See that hand moving? We're getting that shoulder injected. This hog weighs about 75 pounds. Our goal here today with it is to stay within a reasonable cooking time. We don't want to cook a hog for 20 hours. If you decide to get up in the morning, cook this hog, that's basically what we're doing. We're gonna cook for about 8 hours. Comes the afternoon, it's ready. You know, this evening your folks will show up for the party and you're ready to go. You don't have to spend 20 hours cooking it. All right, now he's ready. We're gonna make a bed with a foil, and what that's gonna do is we're gonna lay that on our rack. It's gonna prevent a lot of those drippings to get on our fire, keep our hog from catching on fire back here. We've got our chimneys lit, and we'll move it to the next. So our hog has been resting for about 15 minutes. Now we're gonna put some rub on it. What I'm using here, I'm gonna do a light cover with some APs. I like these 2 right here. This is Dirty South, my buddy Troy. It's a good AP, doesn't have a whole lot of sodium in it. And then we got our White Lightning, Spicy White Lightning. This is a phenomenal rub as well. And then we're gonna finish with our Hog Addiction Blend, which will provide a little color and a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna start with the White Lightning, cover all the meat area as much as I can. That injection has a lot of salt in it, so that's gonna do the job inside. I'm gonna take this and cover the outside, get that bacon edge right there. Then we're gonna get Mr. Troy in here. And get those edges. That hog jowl, that's some good eating stuff. All right. Now we're gonna go with our rub. I'm gonna switch hands here. Here you go. I really want to go heavy in here because I don't have a whole lot of exposure of meat to get flavor to it, and this is gonna get us a good coverage there. A lot of this is gonna be catch into the pan that we're gonna make out of foil. It's gonna be that good au jus, and then we're gonna take and dip our hog into it. Get that cavity in there. We're gonna go ahead and rub it in a little bit. There you go, look at that. And here we go. And any other, you know, if it's a wintertime, you're trying to cook a hog and it's pretty dry and it doesn't bond to it, you can always use mustard. This hog is kind of sweating, it's pretty wet, so I'm not trying to add anything else as a binder. That rub gets in there, it stays in there. Now we're gonna fold them over, let them rest for a little bit. We're gonna build our foil pan out there, get our charcoal started, drop them down, and get them on a smoker. Let's get this party started. Our chimneys are ready. We're gonna drop them down, 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna start this, and then we're gonna pour some charcoal actually on top of them. I'm gonna try to divide our 3 chimneys for each corner. Right there. Number 2, and we're going to 3. So the whole idea here is to, once again, we lay that hog here, the front shoulder, the hams, they're gonna cook a little faster because they're thicker, and we're gonna prevent the loin to get overcooked. Now we're gonna add some of this good old lump here. Okay, 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 okay. Fat fingers are not working. All right, here we go. 2 for 2. All right, now we're going to start with a little bit of charcoal in there. Our goal is to have this pit running at 275 to 300. It cooks away from the fire, so it's very safe to cook at that high temperature. So we're gonna cook a little bit of a hotter than the normal. It should be perfect temperature to render the fat of this hog and get it ready. And so our next step, now we're gonna build us a pan here out of aluminum foil. Once again, I wanna remind you that we're trying to keep this kind of on a budget. Now you can have a pan built at a local shop. What that'll do is just maintain all your juices in the pan. When the fat start rendering, that's when things get a little tricky. You don't want that to get on your charcoal and start a fire. So we're going to use this foil. I'm gonna take this gloves off because it's a lot easier to work with it. Take a cup of that. This is going to be as simple as putting 2 pieces together, fold about 1 inch, right? And then we're going to do it again. We'll set it down. and open up like that. We're gonna do 3 times, and then we'll set our hog in it. So after building our pan, I realized the hog may be a little longer. I'm just gonna take the two little back legs out, and notice how that knife is pretty sharp. That's those Gunther Wilhelm. This will keep him inside. So Chad and I are gonna put him inside. I'm also gonna show y'all a little trick on this cavity here. When you lay a hog belly down, as it cooks, that back is gonna get bent. So we're gonna put a little ball of aluminum foil in here and just keep that back looking good. Chad, you ready? We're gonna put this baby in there. All right. Nice. All right, now. The belly on the cavity, it's really important for you to try to tuck it in so all those juices will stay in there. So you can see right here how it's keeping that back straight. We're gonna take some paper towel, we're gonna wipe it down. We're gonna do 1 more ball of aluminum foil. We're gonna bring this head up just a little bit. You can be very creative how you set up your hog. You know, like we're using aluminum foil, just gives them a better look, you know. Look here. Pinching the edge of that foil, bringing that pan together. Chad, if you don't mind, go ahead and start wiping. And then we're gonna wrap. We're gonna wrap the ears. We don't want them to get burnt, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap them. This is a simple little wrap. There's nothing special about it. Just like that. Go. If you do intend to put an apple on his mount, you can open up, make you a apple size aluminum foil ball and put it in there and let it cook. And then when it finishes cooking, you can put that apple in there and it'll look great. It'll impress your neighbors. If you put an apple now, that apple cooks and may collapse. That jaw gets back as it cooks and they'll shut. You're not gonna be able to put any good size apple in his mouth. So we're gonna now cover this pit up. We're going to add a few pieces of cherry and pecan here. We want that smoke on the skin. We really want the skin to kind of imitate a cherry color. So that will be our very next step. I'm gonna add just kind of on the edge of the fire because I really want to get a lot of the smoke out of this. I don't want it to burn it real fast, so I'm just gonna get on the side of the fire. So we're gonna let this hog cook for about 3 or 4 hours. Then we're gonna probe it. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna put a temperature probe for the pit right now. And about in 3 hours, we're gonna probe the ham and we're gonna probe the shoulder. And then from there, we're gonna keep up with the temp as it cooks. Huh? All right, he's ready to go. We're gonna put him to rest. This blanket and the end metal is gonna serve as our insulation. As you can see, smoke already coming out on both sides. And so we're gonna put our temp probe here, trying to monitor 275 to 300.